AEM 21-712C and 21-712P air intake systems are engineered to add horsepower and reduce restriction compared to OEM air intakes, and it comes with a lifetime limited warranty. AEM intakes utilize a reusable dry flow air filter. These oil-free filters are durable and very easy to clean. AEM 21-712C and 21-712P air intakes fit 2011, 2012, and 2013 Nissan Maxima models with a 3.5-liter engine. See the AEM catalog or aemintakes.com for complete model list and details. These air intake systems are not legal for highway use in California or other states adopting California emission standards. Check aemintakes.com for up-to-date information on emissions legality for specific parts on specific vehicles. AEM power testing showed an estimated power gain of 10 horsepower at 4,700 RPM with this air intake installed on a 2012 Nissan Maxima with a 3.5-liter engine. Actual results will vary depending on condition of the vehicle, mileage, weather, and other variables. Here's a comparison of the car's sound on the dyno with the stock OEM system versus AEM's air intake. AEM air intakes come with detailed instructions with pictures and diagrams. AEM intakes are engineered for specific vehicles to produce a safe horsepower increase. Preparing the vehicle. Make sure the vehicle is parked on a level surface. Set the parking brake. If the engine has run in the past 2 hours, let it cool down. Disconnect the negative battery terminal. Do not discard stock components after removal of the factory system. Removal of the stock system. Remove the two 5mm Allen head bolts that secure the valve cover in place. Lift up on the bottom of the engine cover and remove from the vehicle. Remove the 3 bolts securing the stock intake scoop. Remove the stock intake scoop from the vehicle. Remove the spring clamp securing the PCV hose to the valve cover vent. Remove the hose from the valve cover vent. Unplug the MAF sensor connector. Release the clip securing the MAF sensor harness to the airbox. Remove the 10mm bolt that secures the lower airbox in place. Remove the clip securing the transmission breather to the factory airbox. Loosen the hose clamp that secures the inlet tube to the throttle body. Lift up on the bottom of the airbox to disengage, but do not remove from the engine bay. Remove the second MAF harness clip from the backside of the airbox. Remove the third MAF harness clip from the inlet tube. Remove the factory airbox system from the vehicle. Remove the 8 clips from the front of the upper radiator shroud. Remove the upper radiator shroud from the vehicle. Remove the left clip from the lower shroud. Remove the right clip from the lower shroud. Remove the shroud from the vehicle. Cut and remove the clip from the MAF sensor harness. Use caution. Do not cut the MAF sensor wire harness. Remove the two 10mm bolts securing the factory airbox bracket to the inner engine bay wall. Cut the radiator support to make room for the AEM front scoop. Installation of the AEM intake system. When installing the intake system, do not completely tighten the hose clamps or mounting hardware until instructed to do so. Install the coupler onto the throttle body and mount 2 number 52 hose clamps. Tighten the number 52 hose clamp on the throttle body end. Place the 2 adapters onto the factory rubber grommets. Slide a fender washer onto each of the M 6x35mm bolts. From underneath the factory rubber grommets, slide each bolt and fender washer through so the bolt protrudes through the rubber grommet and adapter. Use the provided M6 nuts to keep the assembly together. Once properly assembled, tighten the nuts and bolts to secure the adapter assemblies. Attach the provided bracket onto the heat shield using 2 M6 bolts and 2 washers. Insert the rubber grommet into the heat shield hole. Install the rubber edge trim onto the top edge of the heat shield. Install the rubber edge trim around the intake tube opening in the heat shield. Place the heat shield in the vehicle's engine bay, ensuring the threaded ends of the bolts from step 3G align with the openings on the bottom side of the heat shield. Secure the heat shield to the threaded bolt ends with 2 washers and 2 M6 nuts. Align the heat shield's bracket with the 2 studs. Secure in place using 2 washers and 2 of the OEM nuts removed in step 2V. Once the heat shield is properly positioned, tighten all nuts to secure the heat shield in place. Install the 3.5-inch coupler with 2 number 56 hose clamps onto the heat shield's inlet. Tighten the hose clamp on the heat shield inlet end. Attach the air inlet hose to the air intake tube and loosely secure with the number 56 hose clamp. Install the air inlet hose assembly into the engine bay. Attach bracket to the air inlet hose and to the radiator support using the provided M6 bolt. Install the mounting block onto the air inlet hose. Secure the air inlet hose using the OEM bolt and washer. Mount the bracket to the air inlet scoop using 1 M6 bolt. Maneuver the air inlet scoop into place. Secure the air inlet scoop bracket to the radiator support using 1 M6 bolt. Secure the M6 bolt installed in the previous step by attaching 1 M6 nut to the end of the bolt that passed through the radiator support. Secure the air inlet scoop's hardware. Attach the provided vent hose to the PCV port on the valve cover and secure with a hose clamp. Feed the PCV vent hose through the heat shield hole. Install the MAF sensor onto the intake tube using the OEM screws. Mount the AEM air filter onto the intake tube and secure using a number 56 hose clamp. Feed the MAF sensor wire harness into the inside area of the heat shield. Insert the intake pipe assembly into the heat shield. Align the intake pipe with the throttle body's coupler and secure with the number 52 hose clamp. Attach the PCV vent hose to the intake pipe's vent. Secure the vent hose with the hose clamp and connect the MAF sensor harness plug to the MAF sensor. Attach the transmission breather hose's clip to the heat shield from the underside. Once the transmission breather hose clip is properly secured to the heat shield hole, it should look like this. Tighten the hose clamp, securing the air inlet hose to the air intake tube. Tighten the hose clamp, securing the air intake tube to the heat shield inlet. Reinstall the radiator shroud. Install the 8 clips to secure the radiator shroud, beginning with the clip securing the air inlet scoop in place. Reinstall the front grille and engine cover. Ensure all hardware and hose clamps are secure. Reassemble the vehicle. Position the inlet pipes for the best fitment. Be sure that the pipes or any other components do not contact any other part of the vehicle. Tighten any rubber mounts, bolts, and hose clamps. Check for proper hood clearance. Readjust pipes if necessary and retighten them. Inspect the engine bay for any loose tools and check that all fasteners that were moved or removed are properly tightened. Reconnect the negative battery terminal and start the engine. Let the vehicle idle for 3 minutes. Perform a final inspection before driving the vehicle. It will be necessary to check AEM air intakes periodically for realignment, clearance, and tightening of all connections. Failure to follow the above instructions or proper maintenance may void warranty. Go to AEMintakes.com to find products, download installation instructions, view dyno charts showing estimated horsepower gains, and for other product details.